Just going to make a quick video today to outline how to install the windscreen support mounts on my BMW GS. If you're anything like me, you don't like the whole floppy windscreen that goes on. So you can pick these up on AliExpress, they're pretty cheap. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them on. For this install, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need a Torx 30 for the side bolts. You need a 10mm for the nuts. You need a 3mm Allen for the new replacement bolts, and you need a T25 to remove your windscreen. And if you haven't purchased one of these and you own a BMW, this kit is a lifesaver. You need to go out and purchase this kit. So this is what you get in the package when you order. You've got the main support brackets, the brackets that mount onto your windscreen, and they ship you all the hardware you need. I'm assuming these 4 bolts here, if you don't have the crossbar, these are your 2 replacement bolts for the windscreen, and these are your 2 adjuster bolts. If you don't have the crossbar, you're not going to have these 2 bolts where the bracket bolts in. So that's what those other 4 bolts are, is if you don't have this crossbar available, they would thread through the side and replace those bolts there. Start by removing the 2 windscreen bolts that hold the windscreen to the bike and take those off. With the windscreen removed, it makes accessing these bolts much easier. Be very careful not to drop them. Once those nuts are removed, you'll see on the bracket these are actually threaded, so they replace the nut. So then push the bolts back through just enough that you can then place the bracket on top and start threading those bolts back in. The easiest way to do this is to start threading the lower bolt first using your Torx. Once you have those threads started, position the top one and thread that in. Go back to your ratchet and tighten them up. Just snug each up first before you actually tighten them down, just to make sure they're level and they're both thread through properly. And there's one bracket side installed. On the side with the adjuster, it's a little bit tighter to reach in to get to the top bolt. So what you might want to think about is just removing the bolt that holds the cowl in, which will give you a little bit more space to bend that back to get access to the Torx to tighten that bolt in. Remove the 2 factory bolts from the top edges of the bracket and use the supplied bolts with the upper brackets to connect back to the windscreen. Make sure you have the upper bracket so it curls upwards. Your end result will look like this. Be sure to hand start these bolts, as they're only going into brass retainers within the plastic on the backside, and you do not want to strip these. Now that the lower brackets are installed and the upper brackets are installed on the windscreen, reinstall your windscreen. With the windscreen reinstalled, it's time to connect the fastener that will connect the upper and the lower brackets together. It comes with a nylon washer, so be sure to set that washer in between the middle of the contacts. And that there is setting it up. Now, as we can see, there's a lot less flop in that windscreen. So that'll make me happy on a ride. For a $22 or $23 investment, works perfect, fits nice, bolts right in. Enjoy. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out all my previous trips available on this channel.